What changed your perspective about Bitcoin and why?
Well, you just measure this stuff. It's very easy. So let's, let's say you want to sell your cryptocurrency on an exchange and you send the transaction. And then you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. And you're like, all right, well, how long do I have to wait? And then you go to the page that tells you how many confirmations you need on each chain. And the amount of time you have to wait for your Bitcoin to be sellable on the exchange is twice as long as the amount of time you have to wait for your Ethereum. And so simply, do you want to wait twice as long or not? And I personally have had to wait 6 hours for a single Bitcoin confirmation one time. What is this trash? I can't wait 6 hours for my faster electronic transaction to go through. And it wasn't even cheap. It was expensive. It's like 20 bucks, I think, to send the transaction. So when you have software that has a very pitiful roadmap, that hasn't made any real improvements in years, that has removed things off the roadmap, like we were supposed to get a block size increase, we didn't even get it, that, it can't fund its own developers. You see developers leaving left and right, has had critical inflation bugs where anyone could have minted as many free Bitcoin as they wanted twice, and they did once in 2010. They had to roll the chain back. And then a Bitcoin Cash developer caught another one a couple years ago and responsibly just closed it instead of using it. That's all garbage. It's slow. It has no roadmap. It has had critical failures. It has a long list of critical vulnerabilities. The code is spaghetti code. It has no audit. It has no modularity. It has no written spec. It takes 9 months to on-ramp a new Bitcoin developer because it is such spaghetti code. If you don't have 9 months of training at Chain Code Labs, you're going to blow up your first commit. It's not going to work right. I just want more out of the life. I want more out of crypto. I want more privacy, more security, more throughput, more price performance. My Rolexes have outperformed. This is $1 million Rolex. This has outperformed Bitcoin. This is a 300,000, 350. It's outperformed Bitcoin. Everything's outperformed Bitcoin. Tesla's outperformed Bitcoin. Meme coins, NFTs, everything's outperformed Bitcoin. So, like, are you in this to get rich? Are you in this to change the world? You want to talk about changing the world? How many VCs own Bitcoin and how many VCs own Hex? Let me list you some guys that own some Bitcoin. Winklevi twins, Draper, Chamath Palihapitiya, probably pronounced his last name wrong. The government of El Salvador. These two hackers that hacked Bitfinex had $2 billion worth of Bitcoin not too long ago. I mean, the Mt. Gox trustee that can only sell it or give it to other people that may sell it, he's sitting on 140,000 coins, which is something like 3 billion. And you just go through the list and you're like, explain to me, you keep adding them all up. And you're like, yeah, like 10 or 15, and then Satoshi's holding 10%. And you're like 10 or 15 or 20% of this network is people that I'm not sure you think that they're the entrenched rich people class. So if you think you're like affecting political change in Bitcoin, you're not. And if you think you're going to 1,000x your money in Bitcoin, you're not. But you can, and in other things. So PulseChain.com, PulseX.com, Hex.com. We're really out here giving people an opportunity to participate in superior networks for free. When I got into Bitcoin, I got in for free. Now you can't get in. Can't get into Bitcoin for free anymore. You got to give your money to evil middlemen that aren't in the United States to hope that they send you your mining equipment on time so that you can start paying electricity bills. It's just gross. But if you want to mine Hex or mine PulseChain or stake your PulseX, you don't have to deal with any weird foreign company and hope that they send you your mining equipment and hope that the government doesn't outlaw it, which, by the way, a couple weeks ago, the EU was just going to ban proof of work. They were going to ban it. And it was a close vote. So, now I spoke out against that because I think it's disgusting, but, that's not my financial interest. My financial interest would be, yeah, look, PulseChain solves this. So nice guy I am to do the honest thing.
So what is the HEX token and why is it better than Bitcoin?
Well, I mean, it depends on what you want. If you want pitiful price performance, Hex doesn't have that, but Bitcoin does. If you want inflation bugs, Bitcoin had that a couple times. Hex never has. If you want to pay middlemen and blow up the environment, Bitcoin's got that. Hex doesn't have that. If you want ATMs, Bitcoin does have that, but you're paying like a 10% premium. If you want the most liquidity, and instead of being liquidity and getting paid the bid-ask spread and getting paid the fees, you have to be hot in the biscuit to sell immediately and eat the liquidity on the other side of the order book, you're going to get better order execution in Bitcoin. So like if you're a guy that wants to buy $1 billion of crypto, you could buy $1 billion of Bitcoin and barely move the price. But if you were to buy $1 billion of Hex, oh my God, would the price go up? And that's a feature. So like, but if you're buying something and you only want it to slide up 1%, then go buy the thing that has poor price performance, I guess.